Hey everyone, good afternoon. I am jumping on today to talk about web accessibility. And still a lot of people that don't know about this, or maybe you see it on someone else's site and you're like, oh, I'm a solopreneur. I don't need it on my site. And I'm here to tell you it's something, especially in 2024, you need to check out if you don't have it on your site. And it's super easy to do. You can come to me and I can help you in any way, shape, or form. But it's really easy. But I'm going to share with you what it is first. So, just like other disabilities, like you have any kind of commercial property needs a ADA accessible restroom, things like that. That it's the same concept for websites. So maybe someone's visually impaired, maybe someone has seizures, maybe someone, um, you know, internet is going down. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to flip over to something else. But all those things are critical in web accessibility. And what it's called is the actual term for is Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. So WCAG. So a lot of times you'll see WCAG 2.1, which is the current place that we're at. I think that updated in end of 2023. And there's a lot that goes into that. And what we're seeing as people in this space, meaning that, website creators or whatever, is sites are getting lawsuits are coming up against entrepreneurs because they don't have this on their site. And this is where you really need to be cautious because unfortunately that's the reality we're in. And especially there's 3 states that are typically higher. That's New York, Florida, and California. So I'm in Florida and we're a very litigious state. And so you're going to start seeing this more and more. And as I mentioned in my intro there, in 2022, and they haven't come out with the 2023 figures yet, 3,250 lawsuits were filed, but that represented only 3% of the demand letters. So a lot of times what you will see is you'll see that a attorney will send the company a demand letter basically saying, we demand, I don't know, $10,000 or $20,000 or whatever it is. I mean, it's usually a 5-figure sum, because our client, blah, blah, wasn't able to access your website because he or she is visually impaired or whatever the case is. And that's what you're going to see. And so you're going to see this demand letter. And sometimes it goes to court and actually goes to trial. But usually you need to respond to the demand letter. So a lot of those are settled. So if they haven't filed it in court, if you get a demand letter, definitely reach out to me because a lot of times there's something I can do relatively quickly to help you. That happened to one of my clients. Literally, I had talked, actually, he was in a networking group of mine and I was speaking that week and I spoke about this and kind of the ADA accessibility. And he literally called me Friday morning, like super early. And he's like, you just spoke about this on Tuesday. And I just got this demand letter in my email. And today is Friday. So 3 days later. And sometimes they'll target specific industries. He happened to be in the insurance industry. So they were targeting that industry at the time. I'm not sure if they're still targeting that. But that's scary as an entrepreneur. If you get a 5-figure, 6-figure demand letter in your email or in the mail. So I'm going to share with you a little bit what it looks like on my website. So this is my website. And I'm going to go to this. Oh, no, I don't want to go to that. Yeah, I guess I like that. Like that the best. But you'll see on my website, you see the little person down here. So you'll see the chat bubble on the right. You'll see the little person down here. And I'm going to actually go over to my website. And if I click that open here, you'll see kind of what I can do. There's a lot of stuff from the ADA perspective that you can do. So it's quite interesting, like how much you can do. And remember, this only affects, so this doesn't affect your website as a whole. This is something the user of your site can utilize to make the site easier for them to use, him or her to use. That's so it is only affecting how the site's being seen on their, if they're on their laptop or their phone or whatever they're on, it's only affecting them there. So this is my site, Bad Cat Media Group, and you will see what people can turn on. So like if I had seizure issues and maybe there was like some flashing or some video or something that like bothered me, I could actually turn this on. Vision impaired profile enhances the website's visuals. So a lot of people that are visually impaired also, like especially if they're blind, they can put a screen reader over a website and they can read the website. It'll read it to them. So this has the screen reader capability. And this particular company, Accessibility, which is what I use and what I recommend to my clients, it's $490 a year, but it gives you the peace of mind and it's super easy to integrate. And that's really what I like about it, is because, due to that, there are some free plugins on WordPress. This is a WordPress website, but do not get fooled by the free plugins because most of them only cover a piece of ADA accessibility. So they're not going to give you everything you need to keep your site safe. So they may give you this little, icon guy on the bottom, but they're not giving you everything else that you need. So, but you can see what you can do. You can magnify your text here, highlight links, adjust fonts, so there's so many things you can do for someone that is experiencing issues using your site from a visual standpoint, seizures, all that type of thing. Maybe it's too bright, maybe it's too dark. So you got dark contrast. I haven't really played with all these myself, but you'll see everything you can do, right? And it's kind of cool because you think that a plugin can actually, instead of you used to have to hard code your site. So when this first came out, and this has been a reality for business owners for a while, but when it first came out, you had to hard code your site. So literally you had to spend thousands of dollars to a coder to have them do that to make it ADA accessible. And most entrepreneurs that have, my clients are not going to have necessarily $10,000 to like hard code a site. Do they have $490 a year? Absolutely. And it gives you the peace of mind. It makes your site compliant. And then every month you actually get a accessibility audit. So I'm going to bring this up as well. This is a document that I got for Bad Cat Media Group. Let me see if I don't know if I still have it up over here. Just give me 2 seconds. So I can open it up and I can scroll it. So yeah, I may not have it open right now, but this is a document that I got for Bad Cat Media Group, and it basically shows that I'm compliant on everything, and you're never going to be 100% compliant. That's just the reality. I mean, there's always going to be something, because a third-party plugin like Google Analytics, for example, like it's a third-party plugin, those types of things, it's really hard. So this is really just addressing what's on your website. Like this is a WordPress site. You can add it to other platforms as well. As I said, this is called Accessibility. If you have questions about Accessibility, I did put the link in the description. I am an affiliate for this platform just because I believe in it. I did a lot of research when I first got into this. I mean, we were building a website for a client, and he literally at the very end of the process, he's like, hey, I just got off this webinar, and this is a few years ago. And they said they're targeting insurance companies in Florida right now. Is this to be able to be read by a screen reader? And I was like, oh. And I had done a little more research a couple of years before that on what this looked like. And at the time, as I mentioned earlier, everything had to be hard coded. It was astronomically expensive. And most entrepreneurs, or most of my clients, didn't necessarily have like 10 grand and up to sitting around to invest in this. And I still have clients that I shouldn't say won't do it, don't see the value in doing it. And the value is peace of mind because unfortunately in Delray Beach, I have seen entrepreneur or on business owners on Atlantic Avenue get hit by this. I'm actually the Downtown Development Authority here sent out an email stating, hey, if you're a business owner down in downtown Delray Beach, be aware that they are targeting business owners in downtown Delray Beach right now for ADA accessibility on sites. And a lot of times I shouldn't say it's fake, but it's just attorneys going after businesses for an easy payout. So some of it's reality that someone has an issue reading your site and, they have an issue and they've gone and gotten the attorney or whatever. But a lot of it is attorneys or whoever, companies combing your sites and these just going for the quick money. And that's what I strongly dislike about this process. But you'll see, I get this report and you can scan through this report. I don't, unfortunately, don't have it up here right this second to do that. But you can scan through the report and it's about 15 pages long and you'll see everything that you're compliant on that then makes you the WCAG compliant, which is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. And that's really what you want. You want something that's going to be consistent, that's always going to kind of rescan to make sure everything's still up to date, that gets updated. It's a plugin, it gets updated on their end. So as the standards change, these guidelines change because they get updated. It's going to update with it. It's not going to be like, okay, now you got to spend another, $5,000 to hard code this into it. No, it's going to be there. So if you have any questions about this, please reach out to me at badcatmedia.com. Either call me at 561-276-4422 or go to badcatmedia.com, my contact page, and set up a complimentary consultation. I would love to help you. We are seeing a rise of this, and I can't emphasize enough that you really need to be ADA accessible in what you do on the online. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Friday. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.